Okay, today I'm in one of my favourite spots, good old Flinders Cafe, good old JG behind me, and the garden I really approve of, which you can't see because my face is in the way. And I'm going to tell you a bit about what it's like with MND, but the last time I did it, I turned into a wailing, weeping, complaining person. So I'll just do it in chapters, all right? So the first thing I'm going to tell you is how I actually got it, and nobody knows. They always tell you that. I have my suspicions, but I'm not going down that road too far. Okay, suspicions are I was born this way with a weak left side, but nobody seems to want to know about that, so I'll just keep that one lurking on the back burner. I first discovered it 4 years ago now when I was walking up. I think I've told you all about it, but I'll just retell. When I was walking up to Eagle on the Hill, and I pushed it too hard and I came down with a weak foot, and the weak foot never got better. And so I spent about 6 months getting all sorts of physio and weird treatments, including the guy up in Bellevue Heights who operates in a 50 hertz electrical area. I don't know what the amps are, I don't want to think about it, but he massages your foot while you're surrounded by electricity, and it does no good at all. And all the physios you go to, and they've got all the signs up on the wall, believe and you'll get it done. Actually, it doesn't work. You see, the good thing about MND is that you actually lose... I'm getting a weak arm here, I'll try to hang in for a bit longer. You actually lose muscle. The muscle asphyxiates because there's no nerve action coming down from the brain. And so if you try and make it better, you're actually going to make it worse. You're going to wear yourself out. And so many MND people, and I was one of them, talking about, I can still walk 1,000 steps a day on my walker, and it's not going to last. And I think you're doing actually more damage. So I started off with a weak left foot, and then I walked around on a cane for a good 6 months, I think it was, and that had to stop because I was belting into Flinders one day up to the neurology research office, and my foot just caught very lightly on the polished lino floor, and that was enough to floor me face down and swearing right outside the neuro office. And so we decided after that, after I'd hauled myself up on a chair, that wasn't going to work, and so I got myself my beloved walker, which I immediately took out roller skating and let people roll around on it. And that lasted for 6 months, but that kind of died out because the arms were taking all the load, because the foot was getting weaker and the knees were getting weaker and the hip was getting weaker because there wasn't any information coming down from the brain. And I was just sort of running myself into the ground. So that lasted 6 months. And then I got my cute little indoor wheelchair, which I really love. And then I also got one from the motor neurone people who've been absolutely brilliant. And that's the big one that I'm rolling around in happily today. My favourite, which doesn't show up very well, but I think you've all seen pictures of it by now. And that's how I get around, that and the train. And I've got to the stage now, I had to be helped out of the taxi the other day. And that's not what the driver's for. And I've only got 19 days left. So we're just not going to work in cars anymore. We're just going to work with the wheelchair and the train, and I can transfer, thank God I can stand up and shift around. And I've given away my walker, and I've given away my canes, and I've got a person who's going to take my wheelchair for their kid. And I've given away my foot masseur and my little thing, a little under desk cycle that all that did was gave me pins and needles, and I've still got to watch out for that. So that's kind of what happens to the body. And of course, my poor little, I shouldn't do that, but my poor little left hand it's hanging in there. I think I'll get 19 days out of it. And my good, strong right hand is still hanging in there. Moving around in bed is fun because I got myself silk pyjamas a while ago, satin pyjamas, I should say. And last night I actually rolled over onto my right side, which I don't normally do. I was very proud of myself because I'm normally on my left side. So I was happy about that. Bedtime for me is like watching the guys who are doing the finals of what is it now? It's on TV right now. The gymnastics finals, how they use their bodies and they roll around, and you find your balance points and you sort of prop up your weak arm and then you roll over a bit and then just rotate. And it's actually quite good fun in its own strange way because it's a challenge. Can you challenge yourself? Okay, and all the MND people gradually go downhill because, it's a movement issue and we're gradually losing our power to move. And they will say things like, I can still do this, but, you've got to set yourself up. The best thing I ever did was buy the bidet toilet, because I don't have to have a shower every day now. The toilet will wash me out. And I can still, as they say, wipe my bum. So we're hanging in there. And all I have to do is make it to day 19, which is September the 22nd, and all my friends will look after me, and I can just, I don't know, somebody else can wipe my bum. Oh dear, I'm terrible. At least I'm not a wailing, weeping mess. So this has been a bonus. So that's how the movement thing affects you. Okay? So chapter 2 will come at some point.